Hey, you clicked on my video. Appreciate it. Now be sure to like the video and subscribe to the page.
They might bring it in. You took the best punch. It's a 10-point game going in the fourth quarter. Okay? Get your freaking heads up. This is what we live for. This is what we worked hard for. Okay? We ain't giving it up. We are not freaking giving this up. You gotta freaking fight. You gotta fight.
Long enough to cover the subject and short enough to keep it interesting. Welcome to Outta My League. I'm Nick Diaz. The New Orleans Pelicans are doing something that is extremely difficult to do, and it has nothing to do with wins on the court. They are changing the narrative about the NBA down in Louisiana. This totally defies the optics of what the NBA are. This Pelicans team is the total opposite of what the brand of the NBA is to a lot of people, especially a lot of people in Louisiana. The players are soft. The players are selfish with teammates. The players are arrogant, cocky, no fundamentals. Things come easy to them. They're pampered. All these things that the NBA represents. Not this group. And not this coach, Willie Green. As you heard him at the beginning of the video, you gotta fight. Everyone loves a winner, right? The Pelicans just win. Anybody will follow in Louisiana, okay? But in a place like New Orleans, Louisiana, and Louisiana in general, it's not just about winning. It's also how you win. LSU fans, they refuse to embrace Ben Simmons. And I don't blame them. You have the right as a fan to like what you like and like what you don't like. I don't begrudge fans for their emotions. I think Johnny Jones really deserves most of the blame for that one season with Ben Simmons. But Ben Simmons himself, he played well at LSU. He had 19 points per game, averaged a double-double, and as a forward, he broke the LSU freshman record for assists in a single season. But it didn't matter. He was arrogant. He acted like he didn't care. He didn't play with his teammates. He didn't get along with his teammates. He seemed above it all. Everything came so easy to him because he was pampered as a kid and in high school. Been told he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, sports fans in Louisiana, they were like, that's not how we roll down here. Well, this Pelicans team, they roll with the city and the character. This Pelicans team is a crazy cast of characters. They're outcasts from other teams. They're second-round picks, undrafted guys who were traded from other teams because they were no longer wanted. They're the island of misfit toys, or as others have famously coined them, they're the bad news birds. That fits New Orleans. That fits Louisiana. And now, I am officially predicting that these islands of misfit toys from South Louisiana will win this series and pull off one of the greatest upsets in NBA history. There are steps you got to take to become successful. And one of the first steps you must take is tasting blood in your mouth for the first time. You got to get punched in the face to know what it feels like. Because you got to build up those calluses to continue to have success. And the only way to build up calluses is by drawing a little blood. That's why it was so important for this young Pelicans team just to get to the playoffs, okay? Doesn't matter if you get swept, okay? Just get there. Understand what it feels like. Understand what it tastes like. You just have to know what it tastes like first before you take the next step. Well, the Pelicans are taking these steps. But instead of taking years or taking even a few series, it's taking them games to learn these steps. It's fast maturation. The Pelicans were getting their ass handed to them in Game 1 at Phoenix, who had the best record in the NBA. Still do. Arguably one of the most dominant teams in recent memory in the NBA. But then, the Pelicans in Game 1 somehow fought back and made it a 6-point game in the fourth. Then, the Pelicans won Game 2 in Phoenix after Devin Booker, the Suns' best player, got hurt. He was having a historic night. And then the next test, the hype in New Orleans. Game 3 on a Friday night. Everybody's rocking. Everybody's, buzzed. Everybody's finally paying attention to the Pelicans. It's sold out. It's Friday night. Yeah, they can win the game. Maybe they can take the series now that Devin Booker's out. Well, the Pelicans failed that test. In that game on Friday, they were too emotional. The players, a player got ejected. Guys were forcing bad shots. They let the emotion of the moment at home get to them. They were reading their own press clippings, so to speak. Their youth caught up to them in that test. And the Suns, the older and more experienced team, they won by only 3 points. With the Pelicans starter Jackson Hayes getting ejected in the first half, and the Pelicans playing too emotional, still only lost by 3 points. They learned their lesson the hard way. They lost one they should have gotten. And then the Pelicans tied the series 2-2 last night. They looked even killed. They had a better game plan coming out than the previous game, and they made better shots. They played harder, and they played smarter. They matured faster from one game to the next. Fast maturation. They are learning and growing their calluses very quickly. Think about what I'm trying to tell you, though. Take out the first half of Game 1 where the Pelicans were getting blown out. If you take that out, since then, the Pelicans have dominated this series statistically in every single category, and it's not even close. On the good side of things, this series is currently tied, and yet the Pelicans have outscored the Suns by 12 points. Now, on the downside of things, the Pelicans have outscored the Suns by 12 points in the series, but yet the series is still tied. See, you change the way you say it, the perspective changes. So let me put it to you another way. The Pelicans can win this series because the Suns have a problem on their hands that the statistics don't tell you about. Now the Suns, their best player, Devin Booker, is out. He's their leading scorer. He's one of the best scorers in the games, one of the best top 10 players in the game, in my opinion. He's out. And former New Orleans Hornet, Chris Paul, is the only true offensive shot creator the Suns have left on their team. No one else on the Suns is a great shot creator by themselves. They have to rely as sort of third wheels. Well, Chris Paul, he's had good games in Game 1 and in Game 3, but he's also had some bad ones in Game 2 and in Game 4 because Chris Paul is old. He's 37 years old. He can't give you the consistent night of dominating every single game where he scores 30-plus points. Not anymore. That's what happens when you get to that age. And now, with 2 straight games of being forced to carry the Suns by himself without the young Devin Booker, the 37-year-old Chris Paul is only going to get more tired and more tired and more tired as this series goes along because there's less break time in between because of the Pelicans' defense is so fierce. And if you think that defense and team basketball doesn't matter in the NBA anymore, then you haven't watched the New Orleans Pelicans this season. The Pelicans are destroying Chris Paul, arguably the greatest point guard, if not top 3 point guard in NBA history. They are destroying him with a second-round rookie in Herb Jones and an undrafted rookie in Jose Alvarado. People that nobody wanted them. A second-round rookie and an undrafted rookie are destroying arguably the greatest point guard in NBA history. How? Well, simply ask the Phoenix Suns head coach, Monty Williams.
They for sure played with more urgency and grit than we did tonight. I told the guys that we played hard, but they played much harder. That's just a fact.
Some just want it more. It's that simple. And when you're in a culture like South Louisiana, there's only one way that you're able to do that.
You gotta freaking fight! You gotta fight!
Thanks for listening to Out of My League. If you like what you heard, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook in the description link below.